Have you ever woken up with swollen ankles, a tight heaviness in your lower back, or a kind of exhaustion that doesn't match how long you slept and wondered, what is my body trying to tell me? Most people brush it off as aging stress or a bad mattress, but as a kidney specialist, I'm here to tell you something most doctors don't say out loud. Soon enough, these quiet signs can be the earliest alarm that your kidneys are drowning under more toxins than they can remove. And when those alarms go unanswered, the damage doesn't just continue, it accelerates. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and over the past 25 years, I've watched far too many patients ignore these silent warnings until they found themselves sitting in my office, terrified by three words no one ever wants to hear: your kidneys failing. What breaks my heart is that in so many cases, the decline didn't begin with a crisis. It began with these small, subtle whispers, the swelling, the fatigue, the morning fog that most people never recognize as kidney distress until it's too late. But it doesn't have to reach that point because the body is far more capable of healing than most people ever realize, especially during the nighttime hours when your kidneys quietly shift into their deepest repair mode. And here's the part almost no one knows. Research now shows that just 4 overlooked vegetables, 4 everyday foods sitting in grocery stores right now, can activate your kidney's natural detox system while you sleep. They don't just support the kidneys, they help the kidneys defend themselves. They help them unload the toxins that steal your energy. They help them recover the microscopic damage that silently builds up day after day. They help restore the balance that aging and modern diets have slowly taken away. If you've tried eating healthy, drinking more water, cutting back on salt, yet still feel like something inside your body isn't improving, stay with me because the answer may not be what you think. And as we move into this journey together, I want you to notice how your own body has been speaking to you. Because understanding those whispers is the first step toward reversing the story they've been telling. This is where your healing begins, and the deeper we go, the more you will see how small choices can create enormous change when given to the body at the right time of day, especially through the foods I'm about to reveal, which work synergistically with your natural overnight repair cycle to create results most people never imagined possible. When we talk about healing the kidneys at night, the first place I always start is with a group of vegetables you've walked past 1,000 times without knowing they carry one of the most powerful detox mechanisms ever found in food leafy greens, like spinach, kale, and arugula. These aren't just healthy options, they operate like an internal cleanup crew that wakes up the moment you fall asleep. And if your body has been giving you those subtle morning warnings, puffiness, fatigue, or that dull lower back heaviness, these greens might be the missing link in your nighttime repair cycle. I still remember a patient named Helen, a retired school principal, who came to me exhausted and frustrated. Her labs weren't bad enough to alarm her previous doctor, yet she felt unwell every morning, as if her body had been fighting something overnight. When we added just 1 cup of leafy greens to her dinner, her morning started to change, first slowly, then dramatically. What she didn't realize was that chlorophyll, the deep green pigment inside these vegetables, binds to toxins, like a magnet locking onto heavy metals and chemicals that overwhelmed kidneys often struggle to filter. By the time Helen slept, her body finally had the tools to unload what had been suffocating her energy for years. Science confirms what I saw in her transformation. Studies from Baylor Scott and White Health show that chlorophyll-rich vegetables reduce oxidative stress inside the nephrons, the microscopic filters that determine whether your kidneys thrive or decline. And oxidative stress isn't just a buzzword. It's the slow erosion of your kidney's filtering ability, driven by free radicals that attack healthy tissue night after night. Leafy greens interrupt that destructive cycle and flood your system with vitamins A, C, and K nutrients that strengthen blood vessel walls, stabilize filtration pressure, and support calcium regulation so your kidneys don't harden or scar prematurely. But here's something most people don't realize: the timing matters just as much as the vegetable itself. Eating leafy greens at dinner gives your body 2 to 3 hours to activate chlorophyll before your kidneys enter their deepest repair window between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That means every bite you take earlier in the evening becomes part of your overnight healing process. And if you've ever wondered why your ankles feel less swollen after a cleaner dinner, this is why magnesium inside these greens restores fluid balance and relieves the hidden electrical stress on your kidney's filtering membranes. However, I need you to hear this clearly. Not all leafy greens are safe for everyone. Spinach is high in potassium, and if you're in advanced kidney decline, you must manage intake carefully. But for most people with early-stage concerns, leafy greens are not just safe, they're essential. And preparation matters too. When you boil these greens until they wilt into mush, you destroy the very compounds that protect your kidneys. Light steaming for just 3 minutes keeps chlorophyll active and allows your body to absorb the nutrients that fuel nighttime repair. But knowing this is only the beginning, because what damages your kidneys isn't just toxins, it's inflammation silently attacking the tiny blood vessels that keep your filtration system alive. And that brings us directly to the next vegetable, which addresses a deeper and far more dangerous threat. But just knowing this first step isn't enough, because there's another factor far more overlooked and far more destructive that you absolutely cannot ignore next. And once you understand how leafy greens help your kidneys remove toxins while you sleep, the next step is addressing something even more silent and far more dangerous: inflammation inside the microscopic blood vessels that keep your kidneys alive. This is where an unlikely hero enters the picture: cabbage. Most people think of cabbage as a cheap salad filler or something added to coleslaw, but inside those green and purple leaves is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools nature has ever created for kidney repair. I saw this firsthand with a patient named Robert, a long-haul truck driver who came to me with early kidney decline and blood pressure so high it threatened every capillary in his kidneys. His biggest problem wasn't toxins, it was inflammation, silently weakening the tiny vessels that fed his nephrons. When we added red cabbage to his dinners 3 times a week, he didn't expect much. Yet within a month, his morning swelling eased, his blood pressure stabilized, and his labs began improving for the first time in years. What happened inside him wasn't magic, it's biochemistry. Red cabbage contains anthocyanins, the deep purple pigments that act like firefighters inside inflamed blood vessels. They reduce oxidative flame repair vessel lining and restore the smooth blood flow kidneys need to filter efficiently. Studies from both the US and Europe confirm this effect, showing that people who regularly eat cabbage have significantly lower levels of inflammatory markers, including CRP and cytokines, that accelerate kidney decline. Cabbage also carries folate, a nutrient that lowers homocysteine, a toxic compound that corrodes blood vessels the same way acid eats through metal. When homocysteine rises, kidney filtration plummets. Lowering it helps your nephrons breathe again. And vitamin K inside cabbage works like a shield, preventing calcium from hardening inside kidney tissue, reducing scarring, and extending the lifespan of your filtering units. But one of the biggest reasons I recommend cabbage to kidney patients, especially those in later stages, is its incredibly low potassium content. When your kidneys struggle, potassium can become dangerous. Too much can cause muscle weakness, heart rhythm issues, and life-threatening complications. Cabbage gives you anti-inflammatory power without the potassium risk. It's safe, accessible, and affordable, which is why I often tell patients, if you can't tolerate most vegetables anymore, cabbage might be the one your kidneys will still welcome. I always remind people to cook it gently, steamed, stir-fried, or roasted. Overcooking destroys anthocyanins and reduces its healing potential. And if you're someone who worries about gas or bloating, start small, your body adjusts quickly. But here's the truth most people never hear. Reducing inflammation alone won't stop kidney decline. Because even when you clear toxins and calm the vessels, your kidney cells still face daily attacks at the microscopic level. And if those cells can't defend themselves, inflammation is only one piece of the puzzle. And that's why the next vegetable is so critical. It activates your kidney's internal defense system in a way no other vegetable can. But just knowing this second step isn't enough, because what comes next may determine whether your kidneys stay stable or continue to decline. Once you calm the inflammation inside those delicate kidney vessels, the next step is strengthening the kidney cells themselves, because even the cleanest bloodstream and the healthiest capillaries can't protect a kidney whose cells are constantly under attack. And that's where broccoli steps into the spotlight. Most people think of broccoli as a standard side dish, something parents push onto kids' plates. But inside each tiny green floret is a compound so powerful that researchers around the world now call it one of nature's strongest cellular defenders, sulforaphane. I'll never forget my patient Maria, a 62-year-old grandmother who came to me frightened and overwhelmed after her GFR suddenly dropped. She wasn't eating poorly, she didn't smoke, And she walked every day, yet her kidney cells were still deteriorating. What she didn't know was that oxidative damage had been chipping away at her nephrons for years. When we added lightly steamed broccoli to her dinner routine, her trajectory changed. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily, predictably, and scientifically. Within 3 months, her inflammation markers dropped, her filtration stabilized, and her energy returned in a way she hadn't felt in a decade. Sulforaphane does something extraordinary. It activates your body's internal defense system, flipping on protective genes that shield your kidney cells from oxidative stress. Studies from Mayo Clinic show that sulforaphane can reduce cellular inflammation, slow the progression of kidney disease, and even strengthen the kidney's ability to recover after ongoing damage. Think of it like giving each kidney cell its own personal armor protection it desperately needs. In a world filled with chemical exposure, medications, processed foods, and stressors, most people never think twice about. Broccoli also supports your kidneys through an entirely different pathway, the gut-kidney axis. When you feed your gut healthy fibers, you create short-chain fatty acids that lower inflammation throughout the entire body, including the kidneys. This means fewer toxins re-enter your bloodstream and less pressure on your filtration system. Add in vitamins A, C, and K, which reinforce the structure of your nephrons, the same way steel bars reinforce concrete, and you can see why broccoli is not just a vegetable. It's a strategic kidney treatment disguised as everyday food. Timing and preparation matter here as well. Light steaming just 3 to 5 minutes maximizes sulforaphane production. Boiling destroys it. Overcooking erases its potency. And if potassium is a concern for you, moderation is key, but broccoli remains safe for the majority of people in early or moderate kidney decline. But here's the twist most people never expect. Even if your kidney cells are protected, and even if inflammation drops, your kidneys can still struggle if toxins keep re-entering your bloodstream after your liver processes them. That's the piece most people miss, and it's exactly why the fourth vegetable is so essential. Because just knowing how to protect your kidney cells isn't enough. There's another threat that works behind the scenes, and unless you address it, your kidneys will continue fighting an uphill battle. And once your kidney cells are finally protected, there's still one more hidden threat working quietly in the background, something that can sabotage every improvement you've made so far. Because even if toxins are removed, blood vessels are calm and cells are defended, your kidneys remain vulnerable if those toxins slip back into your bloodstream after your liver processes them. This final step is where most people fail without ever knowing it. And it's why cauliflower, yes, the simple white vegetable so many people overlook, might be one of the most kidney-friendly foods ever discovered. I met a patient named Thomas, a retired engineer who had been doing everything right, eating clean, reducing salt, walking daily. Yet his creatinine was creeping upward and his energy kept dropping. When I reviewed his diet, I noticed a pattern: plenty of healthy foods, but none that prevented toxin reabsorption in the gut. His liver was working, but his intestines were sending the waste right back into circulation. When we added cauliflower to his evening meals, something remarkable happened. His morning heaviness faded, his swelling decreased, and his labs finally stabilized. And it wasn't luck, it was physiology. Cauliflower contains a unique type of fiber that acts like a barrier inside your digestive tract. Instead of allowing processed toxins, metabolic byproducts, or harmful compounds to be reabsorbed into your bloodstream, this fiber traps them and carries them out of your body efficiently. Think of it like replacing a worn-out filter with one that finally catches what your kidneys shouldn't have to process twice. Research from Canadian and European kidney studies shows that this type of fiber significantly reduces circulating uremic toxins, the very toxins responsible for morning fatigue, nausea, brain fog, and faster kidney decline. But that's just the beginning. Cauliflower is incredibly low in potassium, making it one of the safest vegetables even for late-stage kidney patients who must be cautious with most produce. It delivers folate to support detox pathways and vitamin C to fight oxidative damage during your body's nighttime repair window. And because it's mild in flavor, it absorbs whatever seasoning you add: garlic, herbs, olive oil, making it easy to integrate into meals without feeling like diet food. Preparation is simple but critical. Overcooking destroys nutrients, while light steaming or roasting keeps its detoxifying compounds intact. Even frozen cauliflower works beautifully because its nutrients are locked in at peak freshness. For patients dealing with bloating, starting with small portions often resolves discomfort quickly as the gut adjusts. Cauliflower becomes the final guardian in this four-step nighttime healing system. It binds what shouldn't return to your bloodstream, protects your kidneys from repeat exposure, and gives your filtration system the breathing room it needs to begin true recovery. But just understanding these four vegetables isn't the end of the story, because what determines whether your kidneys actually heal isn't only what you eat, it's how these foods work together inside your body while you sleep. And this is where everything comes together, because knowing the foods is powerful, but there's an even deeper layer that decides whether your kidneys improve or continue to decline. When you see each of these vegetables individually, their benefits are impressive. But the real transformation happens when they work together inside the quiet hours of the night, creating a healing cycle your kidneys have been desperately waiting for. Think of your body between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., not as resting, but as entering its most advanced repair mode. During this window, your kidneys shift from daytime filtering into deep restoration, and this is exactly where these four vegetables become more powerful than any single supplement, medication, or diet trend. Leafy greens begin the process acting like the cleanup crew that collects and disarms toxins before they can overwhelm your system. Cabbage steps in next, calming inflammation in the tiny blood vessels that feed your kidneys. Without this, the detox work would stall because inflamed vessels can't deliver proper blood flow. Broccoli joins the cycle by strengthening the kidney cells themselves, giving them the ability to withstand daily oxidative stress. And finally, cauliflower ensures those toxins don't slip back into your bloodstream, closing the loop and protecting your kidneys from the vicious cycle that leads so many people toward dialysis. I saw this synergy in a patient named Evelyn, a 70-year-old retired nurse who had battled kidney decline for years, despite doing everything right. When we structured her dinners around these four vegetables, rotating them, pairing them, and allowing her body to use them during nighttime repair, her symptoms shifted in ways that surprised even her specialists. Less swelling, clearer urine, more energy, a lighter feeling in the body each morning, and the most important part, her labs finally stabilized. Not because of one miracle food, but because her body finally had a system working with its natural healing rhythm instead of against it. Research on plant diversity and kidney health shows that eating a wider range of vegetables improves gut bacteria, reduces uremic toxins, and supports a more alkaline environment. Three things that dramatically reduce kidney burden. When the gut produces fewer toxins, the kidneys filter less waste. When the blood is less acidic, the kidneys do less emergency balancing. And when inflammation drops, kidney tissue stays healthier for far longer. But remember this, it's not about perfection. You don't need to eat all four vegetables every night. You don't need complicated recipes. What matters is consistency, adding them into your week, letting your body use their compounds during its nighttime repair cycle, and trusting the process your kidneys were designed for. Because healing the kidneys isn't about dramatic gestures. It's about repeating small, powerful choices that give your body room to restore itself. And speaking of restoration, everything we've covered so far leads to one final message, one that determines whether these changes simply slow your decline or help you reclaim your health entirely. Because understanding these foods is only the beginning. How you apply them and what you do next may shape the future of your kidneys more than anything you've done before. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to remember something deeply important. Your kidneys are not failing you. They are fighting for you every single day, and they have an extraordinary ability to heal when you finally give them the support they've been asking for. The changes we talked about aren't dramatic, complicated, or expensive. They're simple, powerful choices that, when repeated, can shift the entire direction of your health. And if you feel overwhelmed or unsure where to begin, just choose one of these vegetables tonight. Healing never starts with perfection. It starts with one step, one meal, one act of caring for yourself. If this video helped you understand your body better, please save it, because you may want to come back to it on days when you need a reminder of what your kidneys are capable of. And I invite you to subscribe to this channel so you never miss the newest medical insights and kidney health strategies I release. My mission is to help you stay informed, protected, and empowered with knowledge that can truly change your life. And I don't want you to miss any of it. Before you go, I want you to hold on to this message, no matter your age, your diagnosis, or what you've been told in the past, your kidneys are not a lost cause. With the right routine, the right timing, and the right foods, your body can move toward healing in ways you may not have believed were possible. Take care of yourself. Keep listening to your body's signals, and I'll be here to guide you every step of the way. I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and I'll see you in the next video. Your journey to healthier kidneys is just beginning.